come give them something to eat. We can't take it much of all the time. The spirit is carnival.
Next storyteller, a young lady who will represent Trinidad and Tobago Association of Baltimore, Miss Christlyn Greaves. Cannot wait to hear what your story is. So I am going to yield the floor to you now, Miss Christlyn, for you to share with us your story.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Christlyn Greaves. I live here in Maryland and have been here for a little over 30 years. I know I look like I'm 12, but I am not. They do say that the black don't crack, so here it is. I have been involved with the Trinidad and Tobago Association ever since I moved to Maryland. And over the years, I have presented, performed some pieces. And so when I was asked to do something, I decided to write because that is what I do. This piece that I'm actually going to read from because I don't want to miss anything, I call the Re-Education of Christlyn Lucas, which was my former name. So thank you for your time. In 1990, shortly after the infamous Abu Bakr coup in Trinidad, I arrived in New York's JFK airport, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, eager to begin my US adventures. My mom, who had migrated 2 years earlier, came to pick me up along with her friend. We spent the night in the Bronx and started our 4-hour drive down to Maryland early the next morning. A little background before I go any further. I grew up in Faizabad, South Trinidad, and was raised by a single mother who did the best that she could with what she had. She was never given the opportunity to attend high school, but she made sure that I was focused on my education. Because of her dedication, I was able to attend St. Joseph's Convent, San Fernando. Convent must represent. My mom wanted more from life for me than what she had. So we discussed it and she decided to leave. Those 2 years without her were very difficult. Eventually it affected my grades and they all of them started slipping. One day while in Form 5, I was summoned into the office by my principal, a no-nonsense nun, who also happened to be my cousin. She did not mix words and in no uncertain terms told me that if I didn't settle down and apply myself, I would not be accepted back for A-levels. Well, Papayo, in my mind, I was thinking, I'm not coming back anyhow. I going to live in America? Anyway, back to the story. So because my mom had some friends who knew the ropes, when we got to Maryland, she gave me 3 choices. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love options. I could get my GED, which is an alternative to a high school diploma, go back to high school for a year, or go straight on to community college. GED I could easily do because my brain was fresh from studying for CXC. Going back to high school was a definite no. I had recently graduated and had absolutely no desire to go back through that again. So community college was the best choice for your girl. In no time flat, we went up to the local community college. I enrolled and started the process to get the show on the road. Well, what I forgot to mention is that at that time, I had no green card. So I was considered an international student. I chose business management with a concentration in human resources as my major and registered as a full-time student. Then we got the bill. Oh gosh, my mom had been saving money along the way, but when I saw those numbers, all I could do was multiply by 6. 1 US equals 60 T. I almost had a mini heart attack, yes? I was used to buying books, but tuition was another story. And I'm sorry, was another story. Whew, let me calm down, I'm a little excited. We left and I did not say a word for the rest of the night. I couldn't even eat and I love my belly bad. I had to postpone my grand plans for college life, but eventually we figured things out. I worked hard to complete my associate's degree, got a scholarship for my bachelor's, and even went on to attain my master's. Now today, more than 30 years later, things have come full circle as I prepare to send my daughter off to college. She has some scholarships, and we have diligently been saving for this day. She will never know the stress that I faced. My mom's sacrifices paved the way and laid the foundation for her granddaughter to reap the rewards. Thank you.
Ms. Greaves, Mrs. Greaves, first to begin, congratulations on the inaugural presentation of that piece of work. Yes, I've typed it in the chat already. Big up St. Joseph's Convent. Even as a bishop's person, I don't have any problem saying big ups to St. Joseph Convent. But did you get a memo that says you must tell a story that may bleed people's heart? Come on now. I was good until you bring the daughter. I mean, I have a daughter too, I'll bring her, but that whole piece about connecting the dots. Faizabad, your mother, her sacrifices. You see, I almost in tears myself. Her sacrifices, your work, the next generation, a step ahead. I thank you for the story. I thank you for the message. I'm listening to stories, making notes, trying to decide what to say, if not to say, listening and processing. So the first story we had, the young man talked about Colombia. Then the second story, somebody talked about Mausica. Whew, you come now with your, almost put you out of St. Joseph's Convent, you're not coming back, set you straight. What is called that? That was a come to somebody kind of conversation you got there, set you straight, and you come up here and you, 1 to 6, and some of us started in America when it was 1 to 7, 8, 9, and that kind of madness, right? And here we are now. A continuing thread has been the value of the education, whatever shape or form it takes. And what I like about the story is community college. Everybody like to feel you had to go big name. No. It's not where you go. It's what you do with where you go. So here you are now with your degree and your writing, and a young lady who is standing on the shoulders of not 1, but 2 strong West Indian women. So we thank you for your story. Congratulations to the young lady. Best to her and continued best to you. Again, thank you for your story.